Hi and welcome. My name is Tolan. I'm the co-founder of Productivity Me. In this video, we're going to look at the idea of sharing a workbook or giving other individuals permissions to use your workbook and to automatically make changes into your existing Excel file. So with that, let's get started. If you want to follow along, go ahead and download exercise file 13.04. Now, if you want to share a workbook, the way that you would do that is go to the Review tab on your Excel ribbon. Once you're on the Review tab, you would go to Share Workbook, and this is going to allow you to share your workbook so that others can view it at the same time. When they say others, it means maybe you can view it at the same time on multiple machines or from multiple locations. Now, there are certain features like tables that can't be shared, so if your workbook has a table, it might be difficult to share it. But let's presume that you are not worried about that, and you could come here and then you can allow changes for more than one user at the same time. This is something you're going to want to test out yourself. It can be kind of problematic. Here on the bottom, it would show you the individual users who have the workbook open. So we're going to click this, and then you can go to Advanced. Once you're in Advanced, you might want to keep a history of changes for up to 30 days, but you could change that to less or more. You can also not keep changes for history. I generally keep them, although I don't use sharing very often. Now, you can update files either when the file is saved, or update changes rather when the file is saved. You can automatically update it every few minutes, maybe I'd say every 5 minutes, or just allow you to see other users' changes. So let's say we want to update it every 5 minutes, and then you can include things like the print settings and the filter. When you hit OK, you'll get prompted with this dialog box, which will allow you to simply understand that it's now going to save a new version of your workbook. So currently, look here, the title of our file or the file name is 13.04. When we hit OK, it's now called 13.04 bracket shared left bracket. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily that there are other individuals currently using your workbook, but that it has the sharing capacity enabled and that other users might be able to use that file. So it's just telling you that there's essentially a different state of capacity that wasn't there when you had the normal version of Excel. This is kind of similar to when we selected multiple worksheets, and you see the parentheses or the brackets here for group. If we were to deselect one of those, it would go back to shared, or I guess only shared. So if you were to share a workbook, you would perhaps be able to see other people opening it at the same time. So let's, I'm not sure this will work, but if we were to say open this workbook, 1304, we could open it, and no, it's not going to work. But say I was on two different computers, I could be editing this simultaneously, and then when I save my file, the updates, so say changing this to red, would be shown to the other user, assuming the other user is connected to my network. So if you decide that you want to use sharing, it can, I think, be really useful, but there are some advanced settings that you're going to want to consider. And if you decide that you don't want to share workbook, or you no longer want to share workbook, you can come here and disallow it. You can say OK, and that would turn off sharing. Now, say that you shared a workbook like we have here. It could be really useful to protect a shared workbook, either by tracking changes, or as we tried to do before, you could say protect the changes, and then you're not able to protect a sheet. So sharing a workbook has some pretty interesting features that you're definitely going to want to consider before using the sharing feature. There's some pretty good resources online describing sharing. I like lynda.com, but there are other resources. I think Udemy has some stuff, and you can just Google or YouTube other videos. Because again, I apologize, I don't use sharing very much, but when I have, it was an interesting experience. So let's put it that way. Again, if you want to remove sharing, you would go there, and you would essentially go to advanced, unprotect the worksheet, and then remove that checkbox, and it would no longer be shared as indicated by the name. So with that, in the last video, we'll go ahead and look at this idea of tracking changes and how you can use track changes both for your benefit and then perhaps if you're sharing the workbook with another individual in your team. So join us for that, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.